Hi, welcome to Yoga with Dags. I'm so happy you're here with me. Happy 2022. Happy fresh start to everything. Before we get started, you might want to pause and get 2 bricks if you have them. The bricks aren't totally essential. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. But definitely get a chair. If you have a folding chair, that works great. Most chairs will do. And the third thing that we're going to want to have is a belt, which I don't have. So I'm going to get mine. Okay, now I have one. So so take a moment and get those 3 things. And then we'll get started. So we are going to be doing some practice toward revolve triangle pose today, using some props and just preparing ourselves for a little bit of twisting and stretching like the hamstring muscles a lot, which is going to benefit the lower back. Both things will really help our lower backs. So we're going to begin today by lying down, just gently lying down. You can have your knees bent to begin. Just lie right on your back and land here in this moment. Feel your spine stretch out on your mat. Make it nice and long from the tail all the way up to the crown. And then just gently close your eyes. Knees are bent, eyes are closed. Back of the neck is stretched nice and long. And just take your hand, either hand, and just place it right on your heart center, right on your heart. And then maybe just take a moment to go inside. In yoga, it's about joining our mind with our hearts, with our bodies, and with our breath, coming into union with all the parts of ourselves, from the gross parts to the subtle parts of ourselves, including, our emotional body. So just maybe tuning into your heart center and just seeing how you're feeling as you're beginning your practice today. And just bringing a sense of compassionate awareness to whatever it is that you're feeling. And then taking your other hand and placing it right down on your belly. Let's begin to join with our breath. So in yoga, we're often breathing through our nose. So inhaling through the nose deeply and exhaling through the nose. As you're inhaling, you're feeling your belly expand. And you're also feeling the breath rise up to the heart center. And as you exhale, you're just allowing the air to come out steady and smooth. Inhale, belly expands and chest rises. Exhale, long, slow, steady breath. And just regulating your inhalation to your exhalation, allowing them to be equal in their length and depth. Good, and then just stretch the legs right out and stretch your arms right over your head as if you're just waking up. Really reach out through the feet, reach up through the hands, any gentle movement that feels good in the shoulders or hips, just to get the body starting to wake up. Nice big breath there, in and out. Good, and then releasing the arms down, you can bend the knees and just take the knees up to the chest and hug them in to stretch your lower back. And maybe just rock a little from side to side and massage that lower back. Just warming up for our practice today. Good, and then dropping the knees, just keep them bent and keep the feet mat width apart. Feet at the edges of the mat, arms to the sides. Big breath in. On the exhale, drop both knees off to the left, keeping the feet at the edges of the mat. Inhale, center. Exhale, opposite side. And we're just gonna use your breath to go back and forth a little bit. Inhaling up and exhaling down. You can do this at your own pace a couple times from side to side, just letting the hips start to stretch open a little bit. Big breaths, inhaling up and exhaling down. And everyone meeting over with the knees dropped off to the right. We're gonna let the arm come over too, stacking palm over palm. And we're gonna inhale and we're gonna open the arms out and exhale, close them up like a clamshell. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, stretch open, really open your heart. Exhale, close all the way over, a little stretch. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Actually, let's do 1 more time. Inhale, open, exaggerating the movements, and exhale, close. Inhale to open, legs return to center. Exhale, opposite side, arm comes over as well. Inhale to open, stretching open the heart. Exhaling to close. And 2 more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close, reaching over. And 1 more just for fun. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good, and inhaling up back to the center. And we'll just exhale, roll to the side, and gently press up to find a little seat. Whew, okay. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry, I made you get all the way up. We're gonna actually do another thing down low. So come back down and might as well make use of our time and work our core. I've been noticing I'm 50 and my core has been getting a little bit weak. So let's just, since we're up anyway, do a little practice for our core. So knees are bent and we're just gonna start to slowly lower ourselves down vertebrae by vertebrae. Bottom slowly up to the top till you're almost laying down. And then we're gonna slowly peel back up. Try to keep your feet on the floor, rounding up and coming up. Good. And then hold on to your shins. And let's just tip back a little bit. Just tip back so you're balancing on your sacrum. And lift the legs up. I'm just gonna turn to the side so you can see that. Lift those legs up. And let the arms come out. Now, try not to let the back curve so much, but keep the chest lifted and open. Good. And then from there, we'll put the feet back down and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna slowly lower down and we're gonna pause halfway. This time we can curl the back and breathe and then slower, lower, pause, ooh, and 1 more time, lower. Whew, and this time we'll go all the way down. All right, so knees are still bent. we're gonna do a little work with our belt or strap. So you're gonna belt or strap your left leg and put it straight up in the air and try to straighten that leg as much as you can. Hold it with straight arms. Just take a minute to begin to wake up these hamstrings. So you're thinking about the front of your leg moving toward the back of your leg and the back of the leg moving up through the heel. And then from there, you're going to straighten the opposite leg. And just try to level the hips by taking the lifted leg outer hip down a little bit and taking the hips in toward one another. You have straight arms and straight legs, and you're stretching open the hamstring. From here, we're going to bend the knee, bend it into the chest, but try to keep this shin straight up and down. Try to keep the hips level still. Nice deep bend in the knee, full footprint to the ceiling. And then put the arm belt into your right arm and take the left arm out to the side. And from here, we're going to start to cross it across the midline, keeping the knee above the hip. Keep it nice and bent all the way over. Stay active in the opposite leg. Keep pressing through that heel so that leg is straight. Once you've come over, your left arm is out to the side, nice and long and open. You're just going to slowly, with an exhalation, start to straighten the bent leg. And this is a version of revolved triangle pose. If you can straighten that arm as well, any amount. And think about this top hip moving down toward the opposite ankle, any amount, and just breathe into that. Let it open in your revolved triangle here. Good. And when you're ready, we're gonna gently bend the knee, come back to the center, unstrap it, and release it. And just feel the benefit of that posture in the hips. Let the hips relax, let everything relax. Return to a nice, natural, easy breath through the nose. And we'll do the second side. Knees are bent. This time we're going to strap the right one. And we're going to stretch it up straight and strong. Arms are straight, leg is straight, and front of the thigh to the back of the thigh. Hamstring reaches up to the heel. Outer hips move down to match this hip. And then straighten the leg as well. So both legs are straight and strong. Both arms are straight and strong. And it's active. You're reaching out through the heels. And breathing deeply. Nourishing your body with every breath that you take. Joining your mind with your breath, with your body, with your heart. And then bending that knee toward your chest. It can come outside of the chest a little. Let's see if we can hold it up as close to the belt, as close to the foot as we can. And then the right arm is going to come out to the side. We're going to guide it across the midline, keeping it nice and bent, trying to stay straight in the opposite leg, coming in for a little landing here. And then deep breath in on the exhale, start to straighten that leg, straighten that arm. Both legs are straight and strong into a revolved triangle. The top hip here is moving down toward the opposite ankle energetically. You're moving it down, you're squeezing the outer hips in. Back of the neck is long and soft. Big breaths into this posture. Good, and when you're ready, inhale, bend that knee, exhale it slowly back to the center. Release the belt, release the leg, and just feel that for a moment. Good, and then bending both knees. This time we're actually gonna come up. So roll to the right, come on up. And we're gonna take our two bracts and we're just gonna put them on either side of our mat so they're available for us when we're ready for them. And we're just gonna take a moment and do a little bit of a cat-cow. So just to open the spine, aligning of course with the breath. Inhale, I'm just gonna do it to the side for a minute so you can see chin lifts, tail lifts, exhale, carving under. Do a couple of those. Just limbering the spine. I think I'll move myself to this orientation here. Good. Couple more. Good, and then inhaling into your tabletop position. Let's curl our toes under, take a big breath in, and exhale, press up to dog. And just take a nice dog here, release your neck, find your breath. You can shake your doggy tail a little bit. You can walk your dog a little by bending one knee and then the other. Just kind of enjoying the stretch, stretching it out. Being present to whatever your body is saying today. Then bringing that into stillness, we're going to inhale and look up between the hands. And we're going to exhale and we're going to take a big step forward with our right leg. So take a big step forward. And then find your runner's lunge, drop the back knee. Bring your bricks right by the side here. So help yourself come up a little bit. And just lunge forward into this stretch, to stretch this back quadricep muscle. And feel your chest lifting, your tailbone reaching down. And then on the next exhalation, straighten that leg. Straighten that leg. See if you can get nice and long with your spine. And just bend the elbows straight back and bring yourself right out over that front leg. It's almost as if your heart is moving forward as you come forward a little bit. Good. And then inhale, come forward. We'll put the bricks aside for a minute. Hands by the feet, curl the back toe under, and step back and find your dog. Big breath in here, lift high, relax, breathe. When you're ready, inhale and look up between the hands. And this time we'll exhale, step forward with the left. Come into a runner's lunge. Drop that back knee, squeeze those outer hips together. Come up on your bricks. And stretch that back quadricep muscle. Good. And then coming back, we're going to straighten that leg. We're going to lengthen our torso out over the front leg and bend the elbows and come forward. The toes are pointed in that front leg, and you're again feeling for a levelness in your hips. Good. And let's just come forward one more time and back one more time. And forward one more time as we inhale, and back one more time as we exhale. And forward, and we're just going to switch back to the other side for a moment and just do that kind of movement. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. And one more. Good. Setting the bricks aside, curl the back toes under, and step back into a dog again. From here, you're just going to gently walk your hands back, bend the knees. And once your knees are over your feet, just hang for a moment, releasing. Release your shoulders, release your neck, release your arms. And then hands to the tops of your thighs, press into the feet, and inhale up with a nice long straight spine. Good, and then just inhale the shoulders up to the ears, exhale them down and back a couple of times. One more. Good, excellent. So from here, we're going to do a couple different postures. I'm going to take my chair, and I invite you to do the same. And I'm going to be moving my chair and going back and forth so that you have a good view, but you can just switch legs as we do what we do. So we're going to have our chair toward the top of our mat, and we're going to have our right foot forward, and we're going to take 2 steps back, 2 big steps back with the left. And then you're just going to dial your hips toward the chair as much as you can. And then put your hands on your hips for a moment and take your shoulders back. Take your tailbone down, straighten both legs and lift your heart up. Big breath in. On the exhale, taking the tops of both thighs back, come forward nice and long. When you come parallel with the earth with your torso, take your hands to the chair and press it forward. Press it forward. And again, ground through the legs. They're both straight. Find the outer edge of the back heel and ground there. Find the big toe mound of your front foot. Press it into the earth and take that front hip back. And let the neck be nice and long. Good. And then once you're here, if you want to go deeper, let your chair down. Find the legs of your chair and just bring your hands down and come forward onto your chair if it's possible. Your head might not fully reach, but you want to keep the spine nice and long as you come forward. And notice, are the legs bending? If they are, you've gone too far. You can always go to the forearms instead. Nice big forward stretch. And coming up to the forearms if you've gone further. Press into the feet, come up to the hands, and come on out. And then we'll bend the knee and step forward with that leg. And I'm going to turn my chair, but you can just change legs. So this time, I'm going to have my left foot forward. And I'm going to dial my hips forward. It's always important to have your chair fully on your mat for these exercises. And your front foot is slightly beneath your chair. So here we are, hands on the hips, elbows back, chest lifts, tail descends, heart is up, big breath in. Exhale, start forward, long straight spine. Both tops of your thighs are moving back. Coming parallel with the earth, hands to the chair, tipping the chair forward to lengthen yourself, lengthening yourself nice and long, parallel to the earth if you can, breathing into any tightness that you're experiencing, leveling the hips, straightening the legs. Once you get really long, keep that length. You can bring your forearms to the chair, or you can come with your hands down the chair, legs. Deep breath in, exhale, keep long as you keep coming forward, any amount. And then find the legs again, find the back, and the back leg, find the outer edge of the foot. In the front leg, you're finding your big toe mound, you're pressing it forward and taking the front hip back. Good. Grounding through that back heel. If you can't keep that back heel down, you need to come up a little bit more to keep integrity. And then coming up to the hands, pressing into the feet, come on up. And then you can just stay right where you are. I'm just changing sides for view. We're going to have the right leg forward again and the left one back. Same stance as we just had. We're going to begin in the same way that we just did. Big breath in, and we're going to take it a step further this time. So we're going to come forward with a long straight spine. We're gonna lengthen ourselves beautifully again by pressing the chair forward. Get grounded in straight legs. This time we're gonna take the left hand, left forearm, and lay it across the chair. You want your elbow, your left elbow, to be under your shoulder, and you'll take your right hand to your belly. And you're gonna roll the belly up towards your front leg. Roll the belly up and roll the chest up toward the ceiling. Your front hip is moving back. And you're squeezing your outer hips in and you're lengthening your torso. And then if you can, bring the arm up as well. Notice if you're collapsing into your lower arm and lift up out of it as well. And breathe. This is like revolve triangle here. Big breath in, and then exhale that top arm down. Ground through the feet, come up to the hands, and come on up. Bend the knee, step forward, second side. This time, we're having our right toes beneath the lip of the chair and 2 big steps back with the left. Dial the hips forward. The back foot is at 60-degree angle forward. Hands to the hips, drop the tail, lift the chest. Big breath in on the exhale, start forward, both tops of the thighs moving back, grounded through your feet. Heart reaching across the room, hands to the chair back and press. It's so long and open here. Find a beautiful breath. When you're ready, right forearm comes to the chair at an angle. Right elbow beneath right shoulder, hips level to the chair. Left hand to the belly. It's going to roll the belly toward the front leg. You can use the hand to take that front hip back and lengthen the torso forward more. And then begin to revolve the chest upward as well. Try not to get bent in your legs here. Keep breathing, keep open, stay present in your breath. Have you lost that back outer edge of the foot? Find it, ground it. Front hip back, back hip forward, outer hips in, and arm can lift up. Torso, underside of the torso is long. And breath is smooth if you can find it to be smooth. Big breath in, exhale, top arm comes back down. Ground here for a minute, lengthen that torso. When you're ready, put your hands onto the chair again, press into the feet. Inhale to come up, bend the front knee, exhale, step forward. Good. Okay, so we're gonna do one more standing posture here. So this one is really kind of fun. We're gonna do it in 2 phases. So first we're gonna come here to Art of Uttanasana. So our feet can be together or slightly apart. Hands are gonna be beneath our shoulders. Get nice and long and strong right here. From here, we're gonna keep the legs straight and we're gonna come down to the forearms. And again, see if you can straighten the legs and get nice and long and strong in the torso. From here, we're gonna find a warrior 3. So press into your left leg and lift the right leg up. So it's okay if at first the standing leg is bent, but then try to straighten it. Try to straighten it and try to really lift up from the outer knee to the outer hip and take the outer hip in energetically. The lifted leg, if you can get it to the height of your hip, dial the toe down for a minute and lengthen the torso forward. Get your belly to your spine. So we'll do that, and then we'll release that one down. And then we're gonna do the opposite leg. Same thing, long, strong spine, strong in the standing leg, and then lifting the opposite leg. Bending for a minute, but then squaring the hips and dialing the pinky toe down and lengthening the torso. Belly to the spine to find your core. Your neck is soft. Lifting from the outer knee to the outer hip, taking the outer hips in. And then taking that one down. I'll come up here for a minute and up. So we're going to take that into phase 2, and we're going to do a chair supported Ardha Chandrasana next. So first coming to Ardha Uttanasana again, then staying long and coming onto the forearms. We're going to once again start by lifting the right leg up. From here, you're going to angle your left forearm on the chair. Elbow lands beneath the shoulder, and you're going to peel open. You're going to peel open through your hips. So they're here to the earth, but you're going to peel them open, stacking them. And then find the strength in your standing leg. Press into the foot, lift from the outer knee to the outer hip and take the outer hip in. And stacked legs. I'm using my right hand to help me open my heart and chest up, like I did in Revolve Triangle toward the ceiling. And that might be enough for us today. But if you want to bring it into a balance, you can practice bringing your arm up as well. Continuing to breathe, to strengthen the standing leg, to lift the opposite leg. And then you can bring the arm down when you're ready, level the hips back to the earth, take the leg down, get long again, Ardha Uttanasana, and then just rest for a moment. Rest your head, rest your forehead. Breathe. And then up to the hands and up. Good. So we'll do the second side of that now. You can just change legs if you want. We're coming first into Ardha Uttanasana, nice and long, nice and strong. Coming down onto the forearms, staying long, staying strong. This time we're going to lift up through the left leg, warrior 3. First hip is dialed down. Finding stability in the standing leg. Then angling the right forearm onto the chair. You can use the left hand to start to help you lift open. So once you're strong in that standing leg, you're going to think about stacking the hips and starting to peel open through the heart and through the chest. Lifting up out of the arm that's down on the chair so that you're not collapsing. If you want to bring the arm up and your mouth, if you want more of a challenge than I do today, you can start to look up as well. See that the breath is still moving deeply through the nose. Straighten the standing leg. Top arm comes down, hips level to the earth again. Bring that leg down. Inhale, get nice and long, and then exhale into Uttanasana with the head resting. There's a slight bend in the knees, a lift up through the kneecaps, a lift up through the hip points, a grounding through your feet, a relaxation through the neck, a relaxation through the face, a relaxation in the breath as it's moving through you, connecting you, body, mind. And when you're ready, up to the hands and come on up. And just roll that out in the shoulders. Good. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so next we're just going to do, actually I'll leave this chair here for a minute. We're just going to do a nice little twist. You want to sit so that your right hip is to the back of your chair. And then settle so that your feet are beneath your knees and sit up nice and tall as you can. We'll bring the arms out to the side, stretch them wide, turn your palms open. Inhale the arms up, big breath of life. On the exhale, you're going to revolve. You're starting with your lower belly toward the back of the chair. Take your right hand behind you to the chair seat behind you, your left hand to the chair back. Press into the feet and into your sitting bones. Inhale and grow nice and tall. And on the exhale, use the chair back to help you pull gently around, revolving yourself to the right. With each inhalation, getting a little bit taller up. And exhale, revolving a little more. As you revolve, let your front ribs settle back toward the back ribs. See if you can stay broad in your shoulders and chest. Big, nice big breath in. And then exhale slowly back to the center. And then you can just turn around in your chair. For viewing's sake, I'm going to move my chair. This time my left hip is going to go along the chair back, feet beneath the knees. And then we're going to just bring the arms out to the side again. Inhale them up, big breath of life. Exhale, belly's going to turn toward the back of the chair. This time, the left hand will go behind on the chair seat, the right hand to the outer chair back. Inhale, press down, lift up, grow tall. Exhale, gently pull yourself around. Now, hip points are staying somewhat forward. So that left hip point is resisting slightly forward. The front ribs are resisting slightly back. And you're pulling yourself to revolve around to the left. Staying broad in the heart, long in the neck, soft in the face. Big breath in. Exhale slowly back to the center. We're going to just wind ourselves right down now. For a nice twisty practice. And we're going to do a nice little brick bridge. So with our brick bridge, just come slowly onto your back, settle your back nice and long, walk your feet in towards your sitting bones, roll your shoulders under. And then when you're ready, you're going to press down and you're just going to put a nice brick under your sacrum and just roll the shoulders down again. And see that it's right in a nice little spot that you can take the knees toward the chest and lift the legs up. So it needs to be, you might need to adjust it a little bit. You want it to feel very comfortable. Not so much under, the waist as under the hips. And then just lifting the legs up for a moment. Just allow the energy to descend down the legs toward the pelvis. And from the pelvis to the heart. Softening your belly. Beginning to just integrate the benefits of the work that you did in your practice. Taking another moment to just tune in to your heart. Maybe just noticing if there's any difference in your feeling state when you began this practice to now. Practicing the art of affectionate awareness, where we gaze at ourselves with an awareness that is kind, like a mother gazing at her baby. Gentle and sweet. When you're ready, bending at the knees, we're going to land our feet. Maybe just take a moment to gently windshield wiper the knees back and forth ever so slightly. Not really exaggerated, just enough to open the hips a little bit. And then bringing them to the center. Press into the feet, lift the hips, remove the brick. And maybe just release the lower back, knees to chest for a moment before we rest. Coming into Shavasana, always taking up the full space of your mat for Shavasana. Stretching the legs out nice and long, letting them be as wide as the mat. Let your arms come down by the sides with the palms open to receive grace, to receive rest. And then just allowing yourself to drop in more deeply from the external world toward the internal world. So the eyes are closing and just allowing the eyes to gaze downward through closed lids towards your heart. Let the eyelids soften. The eyes become still. The corners of the eyes releasing. Allowing the creases in your forehead to smooth. Smoothing out toward the temples. Temples soften. Cheekbones soften. Jaw releases. Mouth releases. And the tongue just rests right in the center of the lower palate. Relaxing the tongue. Relaxing the skull. And the neck. Releasing the shoulders, just allowing the energy of the shoulders to drip down into the arms. Softening the forearms and the palms of the hands and the fingertips. Releasing the entire upper back, middle back, lower back. Releasing the belly, the hips, letting go of the thighs, the knees, calves, ankles, feet, toes. Releasing any attachment to the content of your thoughts as your brain just settles back. And you become open. And when you're ready, gently increase your breath and just begin to move your fingers and your toes. And maybe take a nice morning stretch like you did in the beginning of the class today. And then when you're ready, just gently bend the knees. Roll softly onto your right side. Grounding for a moment. And when you're ready to get up, use a nice big breath in and press up softly to find a seat. Where your spine can be straight in a line. And we'll just seal our practice together today, bringing our hands to our heart centers and connecting to that peace that is within, that stillness, that vastness, that openness, and that infinite well of light and love. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Bring that peace. I hope that you bring the peace that you cultivated out into the world and spread oodles and goodles of light. Until next time.